what I'm going to do is just take you very quickly through what UKAS is, what UKAS accreditation is, and then Sam is going to focus more specifically on what UKAS can do for the shale gas industry. And you'll be pleased to hear, unlike the previous two presentations, this isn't something you have to do. This is completely voluntary. So, if we look at the UKAS organisation, and I'm going to sort of start at the top and sort of work clockwise around these. UKAS, the United Kingdom Accreditation Service, is the UK's national accreditation body under Regulation 765-2008. We love lots of numbers, we love lots of regulations. But the simple fact is there's a European requirement that every country provides an accreditation service. In many countries, that accreditation service is part of the government, but in the case of the UK, it's a separate company, which is the UKAS company. We operate under a Memorandum of Understanding of Government BIS, Business Innovation and Skills. We have a committee structure to safeguard objectivity and impartiality. And I think you've seen a lot of the presentations with the shale gas industry. You're looking at some keywords that keep coming up time and time again. And confidence is certainly one of those. And impartiality and objectivity is all key to that. Subject to rigorous and transparent peer evaluation. Full signatory to all international mutual recognition agreements on accreditation, which essentially means we have links to all the other European accreditation bodies to make sure standards are common across Europe. We have structures in place to ensure effective and balanced involvement of all interested parties, and we'll see later on what some of those interested parties are. We ourselves are subject to regular monitoring by BIS, and we're also a not-for-profit organisation with stakeholder members, not shareholders, so we're not there to generate a profit. So just to give you an idea of some of the UKAS members, clearly we have a lot of links with government, so you can see in there HSE, Department of Health. We're doing a lot of work with medical areas at the moment. We have a wide range of customers. I'm not going to go into all the customers, but it covers a lot of different fields. Business links as well, independent business links. And under professional and industry, you can see we've got links with the Institution of Mechanical Engineers. And in fact, the section I'm with, Engineering Inspection, used to be part of IMechE before it migrated to UKAS. So, if we look at the real purpose of UKAS, it's the accreditation process assures, in the public interest, technical competence and integrity of organisations' critical services. So, putting that in very simple terms, does the public care if you get it wrong? If the public really cares if you get it wrong, then accreditation is a process that can be of value to you. You can think of accreditation perhaps just simply thinking as from an organisational point of view, it's like going to the gym, it's like a workout. It's a process that keeps everything working as it should. So we've already heard some of the areas of concern, like engineers certified for well integrity, and that accreditation process is a way of making sure those things that the industry wants are in place. Obviously things like water management, where again there's a whole infrastructure of making sure that water management is managed, and key things, competent workforce. All of the accreditation processes that we look at look very closely at individuals and their competence and their ability to carry out the work effectively. And I think one of the things, as Ken Cronin said, you're looking at a social licence to operate, and that's the confidence coming from the public that all these operations are being dealt with and are being dealt with all of the time. So that's a little background about UKAS, the organisation. So accreditation, why do we need it? What we're saying is that for accreditation generally across a whole range of industries, there are benefits for the public, the customers and suppliers. It doesn't matter what the organisation is, there are benefits to having that accreditation in place. Accreditation provides a market differentiation and objective proof, and again, one of the previous speakers we had said that we have to focus very much on facts and evidence and not hype. So this is where we're looking at that objective proof that an organisation complies with best practice. So you're the industry making sure that best practice is defined. Accreditation is simply making sure that you do what you say you're going to do. In some areas, and the shale gas industry is not one of those, it's a legal requirement. But in others, it's a de facto license to operate. So a lot of the offshore oil industry, all the organisations involved are accredited. They choose to be accredited. It is not a legal requirement to be accredited. And UKAS underpins a whole range of organisations. So you've got quality management systems in general. So that's all the 9000 series. Clearly a key one, the environmental management. So a lot of the issues with the industry, we already work very closely with DEFRA and a lot of other companies and industries where environmental management is an absolute concern. We have a huge amount of work with all aspects of building regulations. And it's that attention to detail that makes a difference. For example, in an industrialised country, if you have earthquakes, buildings are all built properly, they don't fall down. In non-industrialised countries where that attention to detail isn't there, they can. So it's that absolute attention to detail that accreditation can bring. Construction products testing, so all of the aspects of concrete. A key one for this industry would be emissions trading schemes. Emissions generally, so again, defining all those things that have to be looked at. We do a lot of work with microgeneration, nuclear new build, which is one that's coming up. An absolutely key one is all of the organisations involved with drinking water quality. So again, we have all the chemists and the backup for the people looking at the regulations that apply to that area. And another example would be the gas safe register, where competence of people is key, and we're looking at making sure that the right people are on that register. So that's a sort of quick whirlwind tour through UKAS. I'm going to hand over to my colleague Sam, who's going to look at the application to the shale gas industry.
Some of the aspects we cover that are relevant to shale gas and we're already working in. Construction materials, we're very heavily involved in, particularly my section. So that's concrete, particularly the integrity of concrete pour, which would be relevant for capping. Engineering inspection, which is Andrew's section, we work with the oil industry, looking at non-destructive testing methods for pipes, casings, environmental testing. We accredit many of the water authorities' laboratories within the UK to ensure that they provide adequate testing for the safety of the general public drinking water, sewage treatment. Certification, again, numerous bodies involved in the certification of products and services. Imaging, from medical right through to the examination of metallurgy, construction products and high-speed rail. Some of the things we consider in UKAS as being publicly sensitive for the local impact on drilling, extraction activities, environmental damage, wastewater, integrity of well casings, ensuring that the industry has competency, new professional skills and ensuring that those skills are in place, and regulatory compliance. So how can UKAS help with that? Public sensitivity. We have a proven record of delivering confidence. We've been about for 50 years as part of government and as an independent body. Local impact on drilling and extraction. We have competent pool of geologists, particularly in my section, who again, when we're accrediting and assessing, look for competency. We are very, very much a competency-based organisation. That's what accreditation is about. Environmental damage and wastewater. We have two sections involved in chemistry, one specifically for the environmental aspects, one that covers industrial chemistry. So all parts of the supply chain. Integrity of well casings. As I mentioned, my section's construction, so we're looking at concretes. In the other part of my section, mechanical, we're looking at metallurgy, materials, so things like fracture testing, creep testing, so looking at the materials that actually go into making these setups. And then further on with Andrew's section, ongoing technical inspection, so non-destructive testing, testing of pressure. As I said, we're very much a competency-based organisation. Our assessments are very much focused on the competencies of whether it's laboratory, whether it's on-site activity, whether it's inspection, that the people doing the work are competent and those competencies are maintained actively. That's key to accreditation. Okay? We're very much involved in new professional skills. Again, in my section with aerospace, lot of work with composite materials. So my assessors are constantly looking at new technologies and updating their competencies. Okay? And then regulatory compliance, we work with the HSE, we work with the Environment Agency, DEFRA, to ensure that specific schemes are in place and that, again, the competencies are in place to enforce those and continually develop them. So, our people, there's 115 assessment managers, 350 external technical assessors who are experts within their field, 190 technical experts, which are slightly different to an assessor. They are accompanied at all time by one of us. Engineers, environmental chemists. We have more than 300 different technical competencies, and they include drinking water quality, wastewater management, construction quality and engineering materials, quality systems and field operations, engineering inspection, noise monitoring, and as you can see, one of my assessment managers can even walk on water. So, in summation, what does UKAS deliver? Impartiality. We have no shareholders. We are a company limited by guarantee. We are assessed by our peers in Europe. We are assessed by the government. We have integrity, proven public trust, ethics. We pride ourselves on our excellence, whether it be technical, our integrity, or our assessment skills. And we aim to provide confidence and, hopefully, certify someone and provide them with a certificate at the end of it.
Okay, thank you.